Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Superhero Talk. Today we're on episode 18. We're going to be discussing finding a character you love. The main issue here is when you have so many comic book companies like Marvel, DC, Image, and Dark Horse Comics, there's a ton of characters. And that's just for superheroes. There's all kinds of comic books for all kinds of stuff. There's horror, zombies, love stories, superheroes, you name it, there's a comic for it. And within those worlds, there's so many teams. You have the Justice League, the Doom Patrol, the Teen Titans, the Metal Man, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, you name it. Now, obviously, you can't go out and buy every single comic book you see. So when you have all these choices, how do you decide? Well, today I'm going to help you figure out how to figure that out. My name is Brendan Strevick from the Priestley Forsyth Memorial Library. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the other episodes of Superhero Talk, and supporting us online like this is great, but make sure you come in person. So when you want to get into comic books and find a character you love reading, the best place to start is at your local library. Just for reference, our library has books on Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Batman, Hawkman, the Justice League, Doom Patrol, and so much more. Now, to join a library, all you need is a library card, and they're often free if you live in the town. Now, most libraries are different and don't carry the same stuff, so other libraries might have different stuff as well. But you can request an interlibrary loan, meaning one library will send a book to your library for you, or some libraries even take requests. The second way to find a character you like is pick up a team book. Simply put, this means pick up a book with a big team. We're talking the Justice League, Avengers, Teen Titans, Doom Patrol, Justice Society, Fantastic Four, the X-Men, or so on. Now, within those teams are different members, and when you're reading the book, just take a mental note of which character you like the most and who seems the most interesting. And then, once you've picked who you want to read, go pick up one of their single stories and check it out. And the third way to figure out a character who you like, borrow a book from a friend. Now, if you know someone or have a friend who likes comic books, you can just ask them who they like and ask them to borrow one of their books to read. Just, be careful with their stuff. Treat it like your own and don't rip it, break it, or damage it. Now, if you have a friend or someone who reads comic books and you ask them to borrow one, odds are they're going to have a couple different characters. In a world where there's so many different characters you can read and so many different comic book genres, they're bound to have a couple options for you. Now, the next option is to take an online test. Now, tests are awful and nobody really likes them, but when it's a quiz to figure out which character am I, who should I read, what character am I most like, they're a little fun. So there's a couple different sites you can use. You can check out BuzzFeed or just Google something and check out what comes up. Now online, if you go down the quiz rabbit hole, you're bound to find a ton of different things to have fun with. But there's gotta be something about which character should I read, which character am I. So go ahead and look. You'll have fun, if nothing else. Now, if you did what I told you to do and you checked out one of the team books, maybe you're interested in one of the teams. So you might want to look for a quiz about which Justice League member am I, which Avenger am I, which Doom Patrol character am I, which X-Man am I, which Teen Titan am I. You can go on and on and on forever. But just check them out. They're a lot of fun, they're useful. You'll find some interesting stuff, and you can relate to characters. Now, if you find a good quiz, be a friend and help your fellow readers down below, and leave a link to it in the comments. Another way to figure out a character you like is watch a movie about it or a YouTube video. Right now, we live in the golden age of superhero movies, and there's this thing called the superhero bubble right now, where we're going to get fatigued by all the superhero movies come out, and eventually we're not going to like them. But it hasn't hit yet. It may not ever even hit. But right now, we have a superhero movie that comes out almost every 3 months, and there's like dozens of them. DC has some, Marvel has some, Image Comics has some, so go check them out. There's tons of movies. And in addition, if you can't find a movie for a character you like, check out YouTube. There's a lot of creators making their own stuff. You'll find channels dedicated to superheroes. People like me, Nerd Sync, Comic Story, and Comics Explained, and so on. Check them out. The next way to find a character you like is ask for a recommendation at a comic book shop. Now, sadly, we live in a time where comic book sellers are starting to fade out when you have these big retail chains like Books A Million and Barnes and Nobles that carry multiple books in multiple different formats. But if you can still find a local comic book shop, go in, tell them what you like, tell them some characters you like, and I'm sure they have some recommendations for you. In places like Barnes and Nobles and Books A Million, they still have people who come in and buy comic books and they still sell them. So stop in, ask for a recommendation on what's popular, and they can probably give you something. Or you can just go into a shop and see something that looks cool and grab it. I've done it as a child and I turned out to really like Green Lantern and some other stuff like that. Now the next one is Free Comic Book Day. So for those of you who don't know, this is when the popular comic book sellers actually offer a day where they give out a free comic book. Now you don't get to choose which one you want. They often have like a special that's going to be the Free Comic Book Day issue. But if you go to a bookstore or your comic book shop, they get these in and you can just pick them up. They're free. So if you see one, grab it and figure out a new character you like by getting a free comic book. Even our library got in on Free Comic Book Day. For Batman Day, we got some Batman comic books in. Now, events like Batman Day and Free Comic Book Day are great for expanding your horizon in which comic book characters you like. But the downside is it only occurs one day out of the year. So if you want to find a new character you love, I suggest don't plan it on the Free Comic Book Day. Like, it's a good tool for getting a free comic book and finding new characters you like, but it only happens once a year. Well, that's all the ways I know for finding a new character you like. If you know anything else, put it down in the comments below. Help your new readers get into comic books. It's a great, fun activity to do if you're bored. There's so many good stories to read, so many great characters. So I urge you, check out even one comic book in your lifetime. You might like it. You might find a character that'll change your life and life-changing stories. Well, while you're here, be sure to check out our other episodes of Superhero Talk. And if there's something you want to hear about or learn about, just let me know in the comments below. This video was made for the Priestley Forsyth Memorial Library. Supporting us online like this is great, but make sure you check us out in person. And check out our other social medias. We're on Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, we're on it. So check it out. I'm your host and creator, Brendan Strevik. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day. Seriously, thanks for supporting us.